With Gauntlet reawakening, and our heroes now having a secure means to travel from town to tower quickly, the question of what to do next was quickly settled among the party. Before any excursion into the potentially dangerous ruins could occur, they decided supplies and information must be acquired from some key sources located in Otari. In congruence with this strategy, it was decided that the party would split into pairs. One group would acquire necessary provisions from local merchants, while the other would research potentially helpful information about Gauntlet and the sorceress Belkara. For their part, Woza and Durin set off at once for a research mission to Dawnflower Library. Since this story happened so far away and so long ago, you may not know of Dawnflower Library. It was in fact not just a library. It was a temple erected in honor of Our Lady Sarane, goddess of light and mercy, as well as a place of worship for all those who revered the deities of goodness and hope. Dawnflower was constructed with a golden dome that would shine like the sun at certain times of the day, and was filled with hundreds of tomes and scrolls that contained a variety of knowledge for those who sought it and seek it. Durin and Woza did. Once there, they were greeted by an acolyte of the temple, who, upon learning of their interest in Gauntlet Tower and their involvement in repelling the Bodyguard attack, asked them to wait while he fetched the high priestess of the temple, Dolly. When she arrived, both men were struck by her beauty and, of course, her huge rocking knockers. Seriously, my friends, these things would make you want to stand up and beg for buttermilk. They also noted how kind she seemed. After first establishing that neither of our heroes were thieves, a profession she seemed to brook a special enmity towards, she gave them a lengthy tour of Dawnflower Library. On the tour of the library, she showed them a prized piece of antiquity that was kept on display. It was none other than the sword of the Rose Guard member, Volrajani. It had been gifted to the library by Mayor Osip, who had acquired it at auction some time ago. She made mention that a surviving member of the Rajani bloodline still lived in Otari, a blacksmith named Carmen, who Lady Dolly said was a bitter and unpleasant man to deal with. Soon after, she showed Durin and Woza to the section of the library devoted to Gauntlet and Otari. 6 hours of study yielded some critical elements for the party to consider. First, multiple accounts confirmed that Gauntlet had been picked over many times in the 500 years since Belkara was defeated, with some adventure accounts claiming there was no point investigating the ruins any longer. The most recent account ran 50 years before, and it noted some fake creatures had moved into the ruins but otherwise agreed there was little to gain from entering the dilapidated structure. Secondly, the research revealed that though the Rose Guard succeeded in slaying Belkara, there was never an account of what happened to her body nor of the rogue member of their party, Otari Ilvashti, after he died in the battle. Each answer regarding Gauntlet's nature seemed only to spawn a new mystery in its stead. While Durin and Woza studied the origins of Gauntlet, Jarek and Runa made their way to the enigmatic Rin Svinsky's shop. As they went to open the tent flap, Rin suddenly opened it for them and expressed her happiness that they were there right on time. Rin seemed to possess a preternatural sense and claimed to be able to see glimpses of the ever-shifting future. She updated Runa and Jarek on Ari's condition. The young woman was under a magically induced rest that would allow her to heal most of her wounds over the next couple of days. Rin told the two of the deities she worshipped, known as the Cosmic Caravan, and how she was led to come to Otari to set up shop and prepare for Gauntlet's reawakening. She shared Ari's belief that the tower's reawakening was a bad omen and terrible things were about to happen. She had invested her own gold into Ari's expedition, and with the previous party slain by the bodyguards and Aria now in recovery, Rin now needed new agents to take up the contract as soon as possible. She offered the party 100 gold to explore Gauntlet and discover the source of the light's reawakening, and another 200 gold if they could find a way to extinguish it forever. Once Runa and Jarek accepted the quest on behalf of the party, she also offered the wares of her shop at a small discount and provided a few healing potions to assist the party on their quest. Before the party reconvened, Runa and Jarek would also purchase healing scrolls from the wizard Morlebent and a shield from the blacksmith. The blacksmith was, as alluded to earlier, none other than Carmen Rajani. Carmen was the sole surviving heir to the fighter and the Rose Guard adventuring party that had founded Otari 500 years before. He was a physically formidable man, but unpleasant and agitated. Surprisingly, he asked Runa and Jarek to spread the word that he was running for mayor for the 4th time and hoped they would help him secure some votes. Later that day, our heroes were able to meet at a local bar known as the Crook's Nook. It was a quiet double-story tavern near their home, and they were able to compare notes on what they had learned that day. With knowledge and supplies in hand, the party decided to head to Gauntlet, but not before Woza made some coppers performing some tunes for the small group of patrons in the Nook. One man was so inspired by Woza's performance that he asked to borrow his instrument. He was a retired bard himself, and he played a local nursery rhyme all of the children of Otari grew up hearing. It sounded like this.
When the fog is creeping and the moon is low, when the town is sleeping, Gauntlet starts to glow. That's when she arises for her midnight lunch. Naughty kids are prizes for teeth to crunch. But if you obey me and obey the rules, you're safe from Belcora. She just eats the fools.
Using the teleportation arches from before, the party made quick time arriving at Gauntlet Keep. They cautiously entered the first room, a gatehouse of sorts, and saw that it was filled with grey mud and a ceiling filled with cobwebs. Fairy voices drifted down from the rafters, promising the party protection from the giant frog that guarded the bridge. All they had to do was cover themselves in the enchanted fairy mud on the ground. Everyone did it except Runa, which was funny to the mischievous gremlins posing as fairies, for it was their gross stinky dookie, and they thought it was fucking funny the party fell for it. What the gremlins were not lying about was the giant frog, or Slark to be more precise, that attacked the party as they entered Gauntlet. They would defeat the Slark, but each room would be filled with combat. The strange gremlins seemed to have taken up residence in the tower and had tamed large insects as their guards. As the party made its way through the ruins, they discovered the body of another large frog that had been eaten by some type of drake, and a room haunted with the spirits of kobolds. In their hasty retreat from that room, our heroes ran straight into an ambush the denizens of the tower had laid for them, with a deadly giant scorpion at the vanguard.